Okay, we're going to be working on the inside of the TV cabinet, still creating a coffee bar. This here is one of those cheap corkboards that I picked up, and it even has, it's so cheap, it even has the plastic frame. So what I have done is I painted one coat of the white linen chalk paint all around the frame, and when it was dry I used a cloth here and used this aged glaze. A bit beaten up, but you can see it's a Rust-Oleum chalk aged glaze, and I just used the cloth and wiped it around the edges all the way around. I'm trying to get away from it looking plasticky, so I'm going to just do a couple of layers of white and glaze just over, and then when I've got to a point where I'm liking it, I will then put a clear coat on top of just the frame, so then we can work on the chalkboard part itself. So I'm going to put on another coat of the glaze when this coat is finished, but I'm going to just put it just in the corners, just to give a little bit more extra in the corners only. So I'll do that next. So I have dry brushed on the white on top now, and this is the look I kind of got in. And what I wanted it to look like was that it was wood underneath and then dry brushed white on top. It's just taking away the eye from thinking it's plastic. So that's kind of where I went with this. And now I'm going to let it dry, put a clear coat over the whole of the frame part, and just let that dry. So I added some more of the glaze, mostly, as you can see, over the corners. And what I'm trying to create is a kind of like a wood look, and just kind of giving it that wood kind of thickness and some texture. And next I'm going to go back over and just dry brush some white over it, and then when I'm finished that, I'll be putting the clear coat on the frame and we can get on with the chalkboard part. Okay, so I have painted the inside of the frame in black chalk paint, and next I'm going to be doing the stamping. The stamps I use are IOD stamps, and I've already kind of laid out the stamps. There are 3 different types of letter stamps. There is the uppercase, all of the alphabet, which also comes with the lowercase and numbers. That is one package you can buy all together. And then there is another package that has kind of the script cursive writing. I believe they call it swoosh or swish, something like that. I don't know. I don't sell them. I'm not advertising them. This is just what I'm using for this project. Now also I have a brayer, and when I'm doing stamping with paint, I use a brayer. And what I've got here is the lid of my white chalk paint, and it's got some paint on it. So I'm going to use that paint, and then here I've just got a plastic bag on a chopping board just to get a flat surface. What is ideal to do this is a one of those plastic paper plates. That's also another way of doing it. Now, what I do is I get the stamp, I put the paint on lightly, making sure the paint only goes on, which it didn't, it went on some of the rest, on the actual part you want putting down, and then you will be pressing it down. Now just find where you want it, and what I always do when I'm using these letters is using this comes with your letters. Put it on top and just press down where the paint is. Try not to shift. You will not get as nicer lines with using paint with these as you would with using ink. But that's how it goes. I'll do the next one. So at the top I'm writing coffee bar. So I'm just going to go over the O here. If it doesn't come out on some of it, that's fine, because I want it rustic. I want it to look like I've used white chalk on an actual chalkboard. Place it down, leave it alone, and then press down on it. Don't shift. And then just bring it up. And that's how I do this whole. I'm going to do coffee bar across the top. I'm going to do in the little letters self-serve across the bottom, and then in the middle I think I'm going to do some other, as I say, I don't know if it's swish, swoosh. Somebody please in comments correct me. Latte, mocha, and then again in the uppercase I'll do hot cocoa. When you finish using the stamps, just wash them off with water, because it's, as I say, chalk paint is a water-based paint, so you just need to use water to wash it off. When you're laying out your stamps, when you're doing letters and words, work from the middle of the word. If you're doing 2 words or a sentence, include the spaces in counting how many you've got. Like I've got coffee bar, and if the space in between the coffee and the bar, I count that too to space out. And I start from the middle and work my way out, even though I haven't done that right here. But that makes it more easier to get the exact middle. Now also, if you're a perfectionist and it does bother you that you want it exactly in the middle, then measure it all out, take your time and do that. I'm not that personality. I want it in the middle, but if it's not perfect, I'm okay with that too. So, and I've been doing it a little while now. I kind of know how I want it, and if it goes slightly wrong, I'm also fine with that too. And when it is completely dry, all the letters, then you use a light, very light sandpaper. This one is 220, and I just sand slightly on all the letters and then just blow it off, and that makes the letters a little bit more rustic, and it also makes some of the actual powder of the chalk paint go onto the background, the black, and makes it look more like a chalkboard than just black paint. When I finish doing all the letters on here, I'll show you, and I'll do the sanding at that time. Alright, well, I've got all the words and letters on that I want, and now, as I say, with just a light 220, this one is light sanding just over the words, and just ever so light. And what it does, it gives that kind of, it's flatter, it looks more chalk because there's parts missing, and it also has, if you get a cloth and just wipe it off, then you will get it looking more like a chalkboard. Okay, so this piece is now finished. I'm going to try and step back and show you the whole piece. See if I can get the whole piece in. There we go. It's completely finished. Now I'll bring you up a little closer so you can see some of the detailing, and get rid of the light from the window here. I painted the handles. I sprayed them with black chalk paint matte, And now I'm going to open up here and here and bring you in again closer to what's inside. So we have it set up, as you can see here, as a coffee bar. We've got the chalkboard sign up here, coffee bar, latte, mocha, hot cocoa, and then on the bottom there it says self-serve. The coffee machine, which is not available, that's mine, and still has some coffee in it behind you, so I'm going to have that in a little bit. And then everything else is available for sale, including the actual coffee bar itself. So I'll bring you in a little closer. I put the little bird in just to give it that kind of spring kind of look. For something a little cute. So I'm just going to bring you out here just to show you how it's looking. So there's the coffee bar, all finished. And you can just, when you're done, had your coffee, morning's over, close it all up, and it's a beautiful piece of furniture. So this one's all finished. I hope you enjoyed the journey of this one. There was lots of different parts to it. This is part 2, doing the inside. And I hope you, if you haven't seen part 1, how I did the rustic look of the outside, it would be the previous video, so just pop back, have a look, and please give me the thumbs up if you're liking, comment, tell all your friends, and thanks for watching. This is Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and thumbs up. Thank you.